I have to use the bathroom. Immediately when I notice that I have to use the bathroom, my body tells me like, okay, head to the bathroom. Thank the Lord that the Lord put in my spirit to bring an extra change of clothes. I want to add in, before I get to the point of this story, dealing with MS, always protect yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself, meaning, protect yourself from humiliation, protect yourself from, anything that you may think that might happen, So if you think you're capable of having an accident, you know what I'm saying, protect yourself. Bring backup, bring extra clothes if you have to bring, padding, extra protection, whatever you need to protect yourself from having whatever it is that you think might happen. Do it. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be afraid. And not only that, but if you find yourself in a situation where something does happen, do not be ashamed. Why? Because at the end of the day, your life is changing. And as you may have seen in my previous videos, you have to know that dealing with MS, there's a lot of things. Your life is always constantly changing. And with change, you have to learn to adjust. So don't be mad. Don't be sad. At the moment, you might be frustrated. You might be upset. You might even be angry. You might be humiliated. But learn to move on. Go forward and learn from that experience. You know what I'm saying? So from that experience, the Lord had put in my spirit, and I had take some extra clothes, put on some extra protection. So I went forth, I went out or whatever, because I was kind of hesitant about going out. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let my anxiety defeat me from going out and going forth and accomplishing what I want to do. So I went forth, I went out, I had fun and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying myself. So as I stated, I'm out, I'm drinking, I'm having fun or whatever. So I got the urge that in my mind, I'm like, I feel like I have to go pee. So I start heading towards the bathroom. As I get to the bathroom, I'm like, oh snaps, I can't, because with the disease, many of you may know that with the disease, it comes that you lose the ability to, clench yourself with urinating. You lose the ability to, most people, when you feel the ability that you have to pee, you clench yourself to kind of hold your urine until you make it to the pot to pee. But with MS, you kind of lose that ability to clench yourself. So as I'm making it to the bathroom, I feel myself slipping and my urine is coming through my clothes. So as I make it to the bathroom, I feel my clothes being saturated and stuff. So as I get to the bathroom, I begin to panic, because at the end of the day, as I stated before, I am only human. So I get to the bathroom, and of course I start to panic, because as I stated before, I am only human. So I get to the bathroom, I use my phone. I didn't have my purse, but I did have an extra change of clothes. So I use my phone, I call my friend, and I'm like, I'm calling them. And I'm like, answer the phone, answer the phone, answer the phone. They weren't answering the phone. I don't know what they were doing, but they weren't answering the phone. And to make a long story short, I don't know what they were doing on the other side of the phone, but to God be the glory. Thank the Lord for him being who he is, and for him going before me and setting the scene and putting everybody in alignment and doing what he needed them to do to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, to make a long story short, I'm there and I'm in the bathroom. As I'm panicking, I'm calling. My friend finally answered the phone. I'm like, I'm like, my purse is there. I'm like, I need you to rush to the bathroom and bring my purse. So they're like, well, where's the bathroom? I'm like, I'm going to guide you to the bathroom. So they're walking to the bathroom. Now, as I'm speaking to them on the phone, somebody's on the outside of the door. And as somebody's on the outside of the door, they're like, do you need me to get your purse? And I'm like, you're ear hustling to my conversation? Now, any other time, maybe I would be offended at the fact that you're ear hustling to my conversation, but at the moment, I have no time to be offended, because at the moment, I need you. So, yes, she's like, well, do you need me to get your purse? I'm like, yes, I do. She's like, okay, well, who is it? She's like, well, what do they look like? I'm like, well, I explained the description of who the person is. And so she's like, okay, well, I'll get the purse. She gets my purse. She meets me back in the restroom. She slides my purse under the door, gets my purse, and guys, when I tell you, till this day, I never seen the woman's face. I never seen her face. Never seen her face. I never seen what she had on. That's why I say, if you do not believe in God, I don't understand. Because he went before me, he set the scene, and I thank him because in that moment, he knew exactly what I needed. And at that moment, I had people around me to come before me and fulfill the task. And I could only be thankful because in that moment, it could have went left. In any other moment, I would have been probably completely humiliated if I didn't have a change of clothes, if I didn't have access to get to my bag, and just the fact that I had saturated my clothes, like I would have freaked out and just lost my mind. But in that moment, I was just thankful that I was able to get my bag, change my clothes, and still enjoy the rest of my night. So, I was just completely thankful. And as I changed my clothes and I left the bathroom and I went back to my station and stuff like that, I thanked my friend, just for being there and fulfilling the task and stuff like that, and just being there for me, because most people don't know that being a survivor of MS, it's a lot of things that we have to deal with, and people don't know what it's like to be a person dealing with MS. And not only that, but most people are like, I can be there for you. I could be a support system, and most people don't know that, until you're in the moment and you have to be there and you're dealing with it head on, you don't know what it's like. So in that moment, to deal with me head on and to be there for me and support me and stuff like that, I thank you. But not only that, but I don't know about you guys, but besides like the urinating thing, my mood swings, I have been dealing with the highs and the lows of my mood swings. Before I was diagnosed with my MS, I felt like I was very much of a passive aggressive person. I still feel like now I am passive aggressive, but without my medication, I have a tendency to be more aggressive or more agitated and irritated than normal. And I'm learning, to learn how to deal with my emotions. I have a tendency to be, a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more, agitated, as I stated before, than normal. So, I'm still learning to, deal with my emotions. So I've been, talking to my therapist and different things like that to kind of learn how to channel my emotions and different things like that, because at the moment I don't really know how to deal with my emotions, because I'm like, one minute I'm here, the next minute I'm here, and the next minute I'm like right here. And certain people trigger me they make me so upset, and I'm just like, I don't mean to get so upset, I don't mean to get so mad and so angry and stuff, but I can't, to a certain extent, I kind of can't help it. But I do try to apologize, but at the same time, I try to explain to people in the beginning, like, dealing with a person with MS, I need you to understand what I'm going through, and I need you to understand how to kind of deal with me when I'm going through what I'm going through, because sometimes, I'm at a point where I'm at my best, and I'm at my best for quite some time, and out of nowhere I hit these low points in my life, and I need you to understand how to deal with me when I'm at these low points in my life. And you have to be able to deal with me whether I'm at a low point in my life or I'm at a high point in my life. And if you cannot deal with me when I'm in both stages, then to a certain extent I don't want you around me at all. So with that being said, you kind of have to be cautious of who you choose to kind of surround yourself around, because when it comes to your support system, you need people around you who can support you fully, you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense, people who can fully understand what you're going through, because I feel like dealing with MS, you what's the word that I'm trying to what's the word that I'm trying to use? You encounter so many different obstacles. You face so many different things, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally. You know what I'm saying? You're battling so many different things, and people who are not in your body fail to understand. And it's just like, to be around me, I need you to understand what I am going through. And it's like, you may say that you understand, but until you're actually witnessing what I'm going through, when I'm battling and what I'm dealing with and stuff like that, you will never understand. So with that being said, like, take time out, research, study, you know what I'm saying? Learn about me, ask me questions, you know what I'm saying? And try to actually figure out, what it is that I'm going through, so that when I'm going through, you can better understand, how to relate to me, how to better understand me, and how to deal with me and different things like that. Because I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly adjusting and different things like that. And when it comes to me alone, I have to be willing to constantly learn and adjust to myself. So that's why I said at the beginning, when it comes to, yourself, don't be ashamed, and don't be ashamed of yourself, because at the end of the day, things happen. You have to be willing to accept yourself and everything that comes along with yourself. Your body's going to constantly be changing. Things are constantly going to be happening. And at the end of the day, there's some things that you will not be able to change. There's some things that you will not be able to prevent from happening. You can stop some things, but you cannot stop everything from happening. So some things that happen, you have to just learn to adjust to. And if you don't learn to adjust, you'll find yourself in a position where you'll be miserable. And nobody wants to be miserable, right? So yeah, you have to learn to just adjust to your situation, move forward and stuff. Because I know at the beginning, when I was first diagnosed with my MS, I was stuck in the house. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to be around anybody, because I felt nobody understood what I was going through. Nobody could relate to me. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be in my room. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be around anybody, because I was just so scared about the what ifs and what would happen and all these different things. And I just had to get past that point. I was so afraid of going out in public, because I was scared of people looking at me, considering me disabled and different things like that. But I had to learn to make my disease comfortable and suitable for me. I had to make my disease my own. And now I know that my MS does not have control over me. I have control over my MS. So now I know. I tell people, I will piss anywhere. And I'm not ashamed. I know. I will piss anywhere. I have days where I go weeks, maybe a month or so, and I am on a roll. I can contain my bladder. I can make it to the bathroom, and so forth and so on. And then out of nowhere, my body will shut down, and I will piss out of nowhere. I will piss outside the car, who knows, so forth and so on. And at this point, I am not ashamed. After I pissed in public, I learned to not be ashamed. That was my biggest fear, was pissing in public. And at this point, I'm not ashamed to piss anywhere, because I've gotten over my biggest obstacle. I will not let my disease affect me from, I will not let my disease stop me from living my life, if that makes sense. I will go forth and be who the Lord has designed me to be. I will go forth and live. Like, this disease will not stop me. I will go forth. I will adjust. I will go forth and I will live. Like, this will not stop me. Like, there are things that I feel like, I say sometimes, I'm like, I'll never adjust to the body pains. I'll never adjust to certain things. But, I've learned to deal with them. I've learned to manage them. But I have not gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'm comfortable. But I've learned to be content with them. I've learned to manage. But at the end of the day, my disease is never going to go away. At this point, until they have a cure, I'm going to be dealing with this. So as long as I'm going to be dealing with this, I have to just find